Hey everybody, welcome to another video from Beyond the Karts. Today we're going to do an informational maintenance video, do some repairs on my RY30 after me and Dan just returned from the Summer Nationals at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati in Batavia, Ohio. Got a few things going on here. I'll show you the first part that Dan's going to work on. My seat bar that holds the seat on the left side cracked. It's not busted all the way, and we were able to put a seat strut in to hold it and keep it going and make it through the weekend, but that needs fixed before the end of the weekend for sure. And then I had some brake issues. My floating system is just basically worn out. This had almost probably 50 races on it, and we changed some parts in there, but the other stuff just needs to be replaced. So ordered a new one, but for now I've got what our spares kit one that's only been run a few times. And here you can see the difference. You know, it floats, but it doesn't go side to side. So that was kind of wearing out on me. Then as a result, my brake pads, it had to kind of adjust. They're self-adjusting brake pads, so you can see how it wore the pad unevenly because the rotor's moving too much in between when you're going around turns. I don't know that it was costing me any speed or anything like that, but something definitely needs to be cleaned up, and new brake pads, a whole new rear rotor system back there. Alright, I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the first repair here. For the brake rotor, I've just got a total replacement that's come out, or spare kit. I'm going to put that on, but I took apart the old one to show you what's going on here. So it consists of the 6 rings, the snap rings, and then it's got 3 screws with circlips and 3 without, but that all go together. It's got this floating ring. Well, the floating ring, you can see the hole, the round, you know, is oblong, and it's way different than the rotor now from the wear, and it's also wore in this way. Between the two, it's allowing it to flop that way and that way, and that was too much. So this was really pretty much only the part that was only bad. This, you know, the rotors could be reused, and all the other parts will go in our spare kit. So hopefully that'll fix my brake problem.
Hi, Silent Dan from Beyond the Karts here, working on Scott's frame to try to get the seat post re-welded where it broke this last weekend. And as I was doing that, I looked across and I could see visual signs of a crack here. So I've cleaned off as much of the paint as I can, and I spray it down really well with my dye pen developer, wipe her off well, and let it dry. Okay, I've let my penetrant sit on there for a few minutes, let it soak in good. I'm going to take and wipe everything down real well. I'm dye penning it to see where the actual ends of the crack are, so that when I weld this, I know I've got it contained. Bear with me here. Okay, now we're going to let that developer sit for a few minutes. Okay, we let our developer sit for about 5 minutes or so, and it didn't even really take. We have a real problem here because I can see the penetrant soaked down to about here, the end of the crack on this side. The crack runs up to the bearing hanger, around the very front edge of the weld, across, and it may even run underneath the face of the bearing hanger a little bit, but then it exits over on this side, and the crack runs halfway down the side of the tube here, so that means that tube is cracked about 3/4 of the way around. Upon seeing that, Scott made a decision. He's going to take this kart. We'll finish this process at a later date, but he's going to swap everything over to his other chassis and race this weekend at Newcastle on it.